Good Monday morning, everybody. Beautiful Monday morning here in Central Florida. Sunday off at 79 degrees, baby. 79. It's going to be another humdinger today. Woo, I hope you all had a good weekend. I had a survivable weekend. Friday on the way home, I got a wrap for my daughter's snake. And then I didn't do a whole lot. They celebrated my birthday. I really wasn't in the mood. But I think that's kind of more for the kids than anybody else. Hey, you guess my age. I look older than I am, be honest with you. It's been a rough life. Anywho, excuse me. Anyhow, let's see. Saturday, hit the ground running. My 10-year-old wanted to cook breakfast. She made me a breakfast sandwich, egg and cheese breakfast sandwich. It was really good. I appreciated that. And then I went out to demo and I pulled that last piece of stucco down, and the bees came and I said, feet don't fail me now, and they didn't. And I got out of there. And I got the wasp killer and I nailed them. They're still not happy. And I went to the store, grabbed some more wasp killer and a couple other things I needed. Came back and nailed them again. And they almost all gone now. I think they protected the queen, and I think they're moving on. But boy, oh boy, some fun there. I only got stung twice, so that wasn't too bad. Could have been a lot worse for the number of bees that were out and about and roaming around. So, but I got all that demo work done for the exterior part of the wall. Removed a couple of 2x6 studs. I replaced part of the header and footer and replaced those studs. And it's funny, the little scab piece they put on the underside of the main header was just done. But you look at the main beam that was put in 100 years ago. It's about this wide and about this tall. No joke. And that thing looks pristine. There's one or two little spots that have some damage, but not much, I'm telling you. But that new lumber, garbage. So we'll be finishing. I think I've got probably 6 more 2x6s to replace. And then it's insulation. Get some rock wool insulation and then sheathing. And I'm going to go ahead and put a barrier on over the sheathing, and we'll put the house wrap up there, and then we'll go ahead and get the stucco netting up there, and then we'll breathe for a little bit. We're dried in at that point. I am going to put some of the nastiest termite and ant roach bug killer I can, because the guy in that apartment is breeding everything known to mankind. And we'll go from there. So, one step at a time. It was really, really hot. What I did is, instead of taking the whole tarp down off the side of the building, I went ahead and left part connected to the roof and got some tent poles, put it over the trailer I have out there, and anchored it. And that kept me out of the direct sun, but it was still hotter than Hades. And, you do what you do. Or you do what you got to do. And Sunday, went to church and rested. And that's all I did yesterday. Well, I took the trash out and did some other things that have to be done that, I don't know, they just go without saying, right? And I bought a demolition bar that I hadn't seen or used before, and I love it. And it's got two fingers that come out like this. They're about this far apart, and really large, round end, and a really stout, at least 1 inch steel bar on it with a T-handle. And when you're removing the sheathing, it's great. Get it up under there, pops it right off, fast and easy, and it makes short work of a pallet too. I hadn't seen one like this before, and then I also used it for leverage because I wanted a really tight fit with the header and footer, and I built it before putting it in place because of just the situation where it's at. And I put it underneath that, this picture of Roman numeral number 2. That's what it kind of looked like. And was made out of 2x6s. And I got the top lined up, and then I got the bottom almost lined up as much as I could. Put that under there, put some leverage on it, and lifted it up. Took a sledgehammer and pounded it right in place. A nice, tight, good fit. Then we anchored it down to the concrete, and then we anchored it into the beam at the top, and we got meat the whole way, so we did good there. And then we cleaned up some more, and there's still a little bit more cleanup to do, but I've got more 2x6s to come out that are in pieces. I went through I think 3 cutting wheels, and 2 oscillating tool blades. So I got to go dig out my great big box of blades, and then I got a new set of blades for the Sawzall because I've used them blades so many times there ain't much teeth left on them. And oh, by the way, I don't remember if I mentioned or not, but when I was buying the pack of Sawzall blades, or reciprocating saw blades, they had one for pruning. And I'd been pruning by hand, like everyone, I guess, forever, because not all vegetation that you need to take care of in Florida is friendly to chainsaw. If you got Spanish bayonets, not friendly to chainsaw. It's hard on it. So it's easier just to take a pruning saw and rip through it by hand, and less wear and tear on your chain. And but I bought this one, goes on the end of a Sawzall or reciprocating saw, and mercy me, I wish I'd known about these years ago. That thing is awesome. Short work is an understatement. So $9 blade to reduce your work time by 90%, I would say. Some of the Spanish bayonets I have are like 6 inches, 4 to 6 inches around, and some of them bigger. Some of the bases on some of them are like huge. And when we moved in there, we only had 2 or 3 of them. Now I got them all along the property line and all over the place where I don't want people hiding out at, because it's hard to run through Spanish bayonet, and it's hard to hide in between one and the wall, because the last 2 inches of those things, like this, like a needle. And if you're on my property and you don't belong there, that's what you deserve. And say what you want, my kids know that to stay away from them and not to hide in those areas. But we don't have any in the backyard where the kids play. We only got them along the property line where the homeless people tried to sleep in the bushes and poop in the bushes. And you can say whatever you want, but don't you tell me that's wrong until a homeless guy is sitting underneath your child's window pooping against the dang house. Right? So, anywho, I had a guy from AT&T knock on the door, and I don't do business with them anymore. I used to have AT&T stock 100 years ago, and I have a little polite sign that says, "Thank you for not soliciting." And I don't know what happened to the sign, but it used to be out there. And I walked out there, and he said, "We just put up a new tower, and we're trying to offer." I said, "I'm really not interested." And I walked out without my, and I'm always packing. He's like, "Ooh, nice Glock." I said, "Well, it's not a Glock. Nice try, but it ain't for you unless you don't want to leave." For some reason, he wanted to leave. Oh well. There's a video on here saying that an old man was wrong for yelling at a guy just trying to do his job, knocking on his door, but he had a no solicitation sign right by where the guy knocked. Respect people. That's respect people and their property. I know you're trying to do your job, and I won't be nasty unless you're stupid. You know, if I say have a nice day, I really mean it. Have a nice day. See you later. Catch you later, or maybe never again, I hope. And if you're just going to stand there jaw jacking, I'm going to tell you to get the hell off my lawn, and I'm going to go inside. I really need to find some property where it's out on the end of a dirt road with no one else around, I guess. I don't know. I like secondhand lion scene where the salesmen come up and the guys just stand there shooting shotguns up in the air. Or maybe they're shooting at them. I just remember that. I thought it was funny. In this day and age, door-to-door sales, I don't know if there's anybody other than scammers doing it. We have people trying to sell windows, and I'm in a historic district, and you can't put on the street side the new fancy vinyl windows. You have to put period correct windows. They better look like it. And you can get them modernized, but they are expensive. Very, very expensive because they have to be made of wood. In my house, I have a 1925 Mediterranean Revival. So they have to be made of wood. They have to be the same look for that period. So it's a double hung, one big window on the bottom and then the 9 little ones at the top. And you can get them in a modern window, but you're going to pay a whole lot more than any man should. So, just saying. But 9 times out of 10, these people come through and change the windows, and then all of a sudden people are getting a code violation for having inappropriate windows. It's crazy. And, you know, these security companies, Vivint, I don't care if I ever see a Vivint guy again. I've seen that they've taken advantage of elderly people in my neighborhood and that I know, and they're just crooks. They're just terrible tactics. I'm not saying they don't provide the service they say, but they lie to you every time. And if you're older, they're going to convince you that your current company is not monitoring you. And it's a lie. 9 times out of 10. And if I need something, I'm going to call somebody. I'm not going to wait for someone to come knocking on my door. And it's just how I feel. Get off my lawn. I don't like to be bothered. I work long days. I want to spend time with my family when I get home, or doing what I have to do for work around the house. You want to aggravate the fire out of me? Let me be cutting my grass just before it rains and you come tap me on the shoulder and try to sell me something. You're lucky I don't break your finger and feed it to you. Oh, that makes the fire come up in me. You know, the grass gets a little bit long really quick right now that we're getting the afternoon rains, and you're racing in the 90-plus degree heat, sweating your butt off trying to get this grass cut before that rain that's looming over your head about 2 blocks down, and some overzealous salesman has to tap you on the shoulder to get your attention. You don't even know if I'm the homeowner. Good grief. What do you do? Anywho, I'm griping too much. I need to get positive. It's a happy Monday. We're starting the day. We're going to get her done. All right? hey, do better than me sometimes. I try to be stern and strict, but I try to do it in a nice way. And there's a way you can do it. I fail from time to time, but I'm trying to get better at it. We'll catch you later now.